Hello everybody, Mark Coxon with another AV as Food, and today I want to talk to you about fill ratio as cookie dough. Real quick primer on DirectView LED before we get into fill ratio. You'll see several specs on DirectView LED. You'll see something called pixel pitch, which is just the distance between any two center lines of a pixel on the board. You'll see something called pixel density, which is the amount of pixels within a square area, usually square meters in LED. And then the third thing you'll see is something called fill ratio. Now, you can find screens that have the same pixel density, but higher fill ratios. How is that possible, and what does that even mean? Well, we're gonna go to an analogy of the light package, the LED light package, as the cookie dough. So if I have an LED light package of this size, and I start putting them on the board itself, and I put all these LED light packages on the board, and I'm putting them at that pixel pitch across from each other, you'll notice that they create this fill ratio, meaning the ratio of actual light packages that you see versus the ratio of the board or the cookie sheet that you see. And that is what the fill ratio is. How much of what you're looking at is the actual light packages. So you can see this would yield one fill ratio. If I took these light packages and I changed them, let's say I made those light packages bigger, and I put them on this same board at the same pixel pitch and at the same pixel density. There's still only going to be 5 of these cookie dough pieces on the mat itself. They're all at the same distance, center to center apart. Hopefully your light packages don't slide off the board. But you'll notice all of a sudden, we get a different fill ratio. You are seeing more cookie and less cookie sheet, more light package and less board. Enhanced fill ratio makes a difference. Higher fill ratios actually increase the viewing quality of the screen. And why is that? They create better uniformity, they create better light spread, usually better color blending, all of those things on a board. And so that's why you can look at two different 2.5 millimeter LED screens and one looks better than the other. It's not just the quality of the components, sometimes it's the actual components themselves. And even in something like SMD, like if you hear of a SMD DirectView LED screen, there are 12 different types at least of SMD packages or of cookie dough balls that could be on that board. So it doesn't really tell you much unless you look at the fill ratio, and a higher fill ratio is typically better. Now, the only thing that starts to happen here is as we see less of the black board, obviously, and more of the light package, you can lose some contrast ratio because the board is black. And that's why if you get a screen with high fill ratio, you also want to see that the light packages themselves are encapsulated in a dark epoxy or a black epoxy, which actually keeps the light packages themselves dark. So until they turn on, they're very dark and you get that clean, crisp contrast ratio that you want. So fill ratio is just putting bigger cookies on the sheet. And who doesn't like bigger cookies? In fact, I gotta put these in the oven. See you later.